Hello dear UPSC aspirants, today is 23rd January and we are ready with the must-read article list for 23rd January. I am 𝐞𝐥𝐻, mentor at Prepp IAS, and I am trying to make your newspaper reading efficient and fast by telling you both prelims and mains component of the newspaper. So let's start with today's newspaper. There are few articles today, so nothing on the front page and the second, third page. Directly we'll go to the editorial page. That too mainly talks about Trump's policies. Okay, so it talks about changed dynamics that is happening. So it comes under syllabus of GS paper 2, effect of policies of developed countries affecting India's interest. So what is happening? We know, we have read about yesterday. We have read yesterday also that US believes in American exceptionalism, and Trump's policy especially is America first. So they have, as soon as Trump has taken charge of US president, he has taken slew of executive orders of US policy on energy, environment, climate change, trade and global taxes that we talked about yesterday, citizenship routes, that is by birth has been cancelled, health, border control and immigration. So what India has, what are the areas of conflicts and cooperation with India? So the area of cooperation is, first good hint is that the first foreign minister to hold a one-on-one bilateral meeting with new US Secretary of State Marco Rubio was Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. Okay, so they gave us that much of priority. Secondly, two sides are on the same page on the Indo-Pacific partnership. There we are on the same page. Concerns over Chinese actions and critical and emerging technology cooperation, strategic and defense ties. A lot of defense technology transfer is happening between India and USA. But there are certain conflictual area, which is trade, immigration, cancellation of citizenship by birth. Okay. So Mr. Trump's comment that there will be 100% tariff against all members of BRICS is a little that gave a strong market reaction, and India's stock market also went down, right? So on immigration, they have announced a border emergency, a crackdown on illegal and undocumented. There are around 7,25,000 undocumented Indians. So this is a little bit bad news for India. So India is on a difficult path how it will maneuver its relations with USA. Okay, some area of conflict, some area of cooperation, and what will be the new chart ahead. Let's go to the next article. And recently they have left different multilateral organization, WHO, WTO, UN, and also are putting NATO on notice. NATO lies on notice. Continuing from this article talks about the same things and exist of bluster. So it talks specifically about US withdrawing from climate agreements, that is 2015 Paris Agreement. Okay, so US is the only country that have withdrawn thrice. George W. Bush had also withdrawn. Trump has withdrawn twice. Okay, and that is when they have produced the largest amount of greenhouse gas as a developed country. So US is the second largest emitter of greenhouse gases. Okay, and it is not going to follow the protocols that that all the countries mutually decided under Paris COP21. So even in US is the second largest emitter of GHG. Oil and gas production increased under the Biden administration. The US remains the world's largest crude oil producer, okay, achieving record production in 2023. So at one side, all the other countries are trying to reduce the fossil fuel use, they're increasing it. Okay, the country is also the world's largest producer of gas. In 2022, USA became the world's largest exporter for liquefied natural gas. So they are exploiting their natural fossilized fuels as fast as possible. As of 2022, US has achieved only about 1/3 of its, and whereas the targets for environment friendly targets that were supposed to be done, they have only achieved 1/3 of 2030 emissions reduction target. Okay, so Mr. Biden increased the US emission reduction. So that is the problem they have taken. They have also exited Paris COP. So it will take an year. So US behind the scene, and what they are going to do in the next climate meeting COP30 that is going to happen in Brazil, that is something people are going to see, and it is awaited. Let's move to the next article. This article, critical earth minerals, we have talked about in several articles during the last 10 days of December. China's moves must recast India's critical minerals push. Okay, so it comes under GS paper 3, rare earth minerals industry, because rare earth minerals are important for very important industry today, which is what? all the semiconductor, high technology, aerospace, batteries, advanced electronics. So these industries are the future. Okay, and what are the there are certain lists. China's Ministry of Commerce expanded its export control. So they control export also, and they use it as a strategic external affairs move, okay, by including 28 entities from the USA, and they will control this export by getting something in return from the other country. And what are those elements? Tungsten, gallium, magnesium, beryllium, hafnium, lithium, 6. So you should know all these elements, which are very important from chip production. So nowadays AI chips has become the most important, the new crude oil you can talk about. Okay, so China has weaponized the export of its critical minerals time and again. It has used it as a strategic and calculated move. Okay, it has done it with Japan in 2010. It has done it recently in December 2023 also for antimony, gallium, germanium. So what is the thing is, there is a lot of competition for critical minerals, which has become fulcrum of international economic diplomacy. Like 1970s, 80s, 90s were ruled by crude oil. This is now this is critical earth minerals are deciding the international economic diplomacy, and India needs to wake up. So in India, it is not happening with the speed it should have happened. In 2023, lithium deposits were found in Jammu and Kashmir Riyasi district, but nothing much happened after that. Okay, so it's not just the government problem; it's also the lack of market enthusiasm, that is private sector. Government has still done some initiatives like the market of mines the Ministry of Mines identified 30 critical minerals that are deemed essential for national security. Union government has set up a designated body, 𝐷𝐽𝐻 Videsh India Limited, called KABIL, okay, which has been tasked with obtaining overseas investment in critical minerals such as lithium and cobalt. Parliament has passed the Mines and Minerals Amendment Act 2023. So they have amended it for for better to invite better investment from private parties, okay, lifting restrictive classification on some rare earth elements that are considered atomic minerals. So the most important amendment was the exploration license that was introduced to attract specialized resource exploration agencies, especially foreign companies who are potentially rich but geologically which areas which are potentially rich but geologically challenging deposits. So the law has promised to reimburse 50% of the exploration expenditure once mining begins. So they're trying to invite it, that will give you 50% of the money back. But even then, thing has not happened. So what is the issue? Even then, privates are not happy. So one big issue is India's resource classification system is outdated. So before they want to dig into your resources, they should know that there are certain minerals that will give them commercial benefit, but they do not. Our resource classification system is outdated, and the commercial viability is not sure about it. Okay, so what we need is progressive, detailed geological data on ore grade and quantity. Okay, so advanced exploration we require. Okay, so information asymmetry is the problem that India is facing in this area, and it is the editors are telling that we should offer large upfront fiscal incentives during the exploration phase. Upfront capital support for exploration would resolve a market failure. So that's about this article. Some initiative that we have taken is written, and what else we should take is also written. So it will be very important in your mains answers. Let's move to the next article. So this article, I just want to tell you in brief what has happened. What is the US new rule for exporting AI chips? So Biden administration has done that. That is US Bureau of Industry and Security. So they have created, when they export their AI chips, so they have also created some kind of controls. So they have divided countries into 3 tiers. First tier is the country where they will where there is no restriction in exporting. They can export, re-export, transfer technology, everything. The second tier is where they will introduce caps on volume. It's a restricted kind of export where the importers or the one who seeks the product requires validated end user authorization, VEU authorization, and it includes India and China. So India and China are clubbed here. So they are not counting on India. They are not relying on India for exporting AI chips. Okay, and the third tier is arms embargoed countries, which everybody is sanctioning. That is Korea, Iraq, Iran, and Russia. Okay, North Korea, Iraq, Iran, and Russia. So India should, so what is the So conclusion out of it, that BIS determined the adversaries could potentially use the advanced AI system to improve speed and accuracy of military. So they can be lethal. Okay, so so it's giving to somebody who is non-expert can lead to development of weapon of mass destruction, support offensive cyber operations, and assist in human rights violations. So these things can happen. That's why they are not trusting us in this area. So the article is saying the big Indian data center companies who wants to use advanced AI chips might need to apply for VEU authorization, which is validated end user authorization, early, so that their civilian use does not get affected because of this policy of USA. Okay, so India, but one conclusion is India is not in the trusted allies and partners category. Let's move to the next article. So this article is important from prelims point of view. What is cross-pathy? So cross-pathy is when other practitioners like homeopathy or Ayush practitioners are also giving allopathy medicines, okay, where they have, so that is where a lot of doctors, allopathic doctors, have a problem. So across judgments, the judiciary has held the cross-system practice is a form of medical negligence permitted only in those states which are concerned government have authorized it by general or special order. So in 2017, Maharashtra issued a notification that homeopathy practitioner can also practice modern medicine, but this was taken to the Bombay High Court by Indian Medical Association. Okay, but central government is promoting Ayush as an integrative or integrated medicine. Okay, because India has shortage of doctors. This is Parliament statement that India only has 13 lakh allopathic doctors, with the state medical councils and National Medical Commission and 5.65 lakh Ayush doctors. Okay, so it reports a nearly 80% shortage of specialist doctors in community health centers across rural India. So that is where they are trying to fill them as gaps. So you should know what is cross-pathy. Let's move to the next article. So Beti Bachao Beti Padhao program, 10 years, a decade has passed. Flagship scheme for girl child has helped defeat bias. It comes under GS paper 2, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of the population by the center. So Prime Minister, it was launched by Prime Minister at Panipat in Haryana on January 2022, 2015, okay, for declining child sex ratio and related issues of women empowerment. So 3 ministries are involved in it: Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and third is Ministry of Education. These 3 ministries were involved in this scheme. And how were they taking the scheme forward? Enforcement of PCPNDT Act, which is Preconception Prenatal Diagnostics Techniques Act, so that they cannot kill the child in the womb. The second was nationwide awareness, and third was advocacy campaigns, especially in the selected 100 districts which had lowest child sex ratio. Okay, so this is Prime Minister Modi's quote: "Let us continue to protect the rights of our daughters, ensure their education, and create a society where they can thrive without any discrimination." You can use this quote in women related essays or answers. The conclusion and solution can be that there's certain data. The national sex ratio at birth has improved from 918 in 2014-15 to 930 now, 2023-24. The gross enrollment ratio of girls at the secondary level has also risen from 75% to 78%. Okay, and institutional deliveries, which has also surged from 61% to 97%. Okay, so these are some data that you can use in your answers for women and health and education related data. National Health Mission has curbed several public health concerns, says Center's report. So they are appreciating National Health Mission. This comes under our syllabus of GS paper 2, schemes related to human resources health sector. So National Health Mission has significantly improved India's public health, including lowering the maternal mortality ratio, incidence of tuberculosis, and sickle cell anemia. So you should know what is MMR. We discussed it yesterday. Okay, so there are key achievements of NHM they are discussing. That maternal mortality ratio has declined by 83% since 1990, whereas global decline is just 45%. Infant mortality rate, that is children dying, has fallen from 39 per 1,000 live birth to 28 in 2020. Okay, so amongst 1,000 live births, 28 kids are dying. Okay, kids that is less than 1 year of age. And total fertility rate has also decreased from 2.3 to 2.1 as per the NFHS 5, and India is on track to meet its UN Sustainable Development Goal targets for maternal, child and infant mortality well ahead, early, before 2030. So this article, very small, in a brief, is talking about center announces hike in MSP for jute. Okay, and it has increased by 315 rupees. This comes under GS paper 3, minimum support prices. So who does it? Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is the answer. It has come twice or thrice in UPSC's prelims paper. CCEA, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, has fixed the minimum support price of raw jute. Okay, so the principle of fixing is at a level at least 1.5 times all India weighted average cost of production as announced by the government in the budget. So let's move to the last article of the day. That's the science page, and science page talks about space telescopes stumble on rule-breaking black hole. So when a very low mass supermassive black hole has been spotted by a telescope. So this comes under GS paper 3, awareness in the field of space. Okay, so LID 568 is the name of that black hole. Is a low mass supermassive black hole that existed just 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang. Okay, and it was feeding on a surrounding cloud of matter at almost 40 times greater than what astrophysicists thought was the upper limit. So which team have spotted it? NASA's James Webb Space Technology JWST and the Chandra X-ray Observatory has discovered this bizarre black hole. Okay, so what is supermassive black holes? They are amongst the most common type of black holes in the universe. All galaxies contain one supermassive black hole at their center. Okay, so the one in the Milky Way galaxy is named as Sagittarius A. Okay, which has a mass approximately 4.3 million solar masses. Okay, and let us come here. So a black hole feeds on matter is governed by what astronomers call the Eddington limit. So Eddington limit is a term, here which can come in prelims and can be asked in the main science tech also. What is Eddington limit? So limit is also related to how brightly a black hole can shine. Okay, so what is black hole? Nothing can escape black hole. If you are there, it will suck you in. That is what is a black hole, right? So what is a concept behind Eddington limit? As matter collects around the black hole and gets packed into the disk, it heats up and emits radiation that generates an outward pressure capable of counteracting the gravitational pull of the black hole. Okay, so when the outside matter is coming in, so that pressure, that's radiation, is counteracting the radiation pull of the black hole, which made it the black hole. Black hole is a black hole because it has a gravitational pull inside it. Okay, the escape velocity is very high, right? So the black hole will stop accruing the matter. That is what they're talking about, Eddington limit and super Eddington accretion. Okay, so they are talking about the black hole issue is the existence of supermassive black holes, millions or even billions of times more massive than our sun, poses a challenge to current models of black hole formation. Scientists can't explain how they came to be when the universe was so young, when there shouldn't have been enough matter for them to form. Okay, so dark matter, black hole, these comes under UPSC syllabus under the space part. Okay, so that's it for 23rd January. Thank you.